Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Miller. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southern California, and today I wanted to make a Valentine's Day card. We are a week away from Christmas, and it's getting a little bit late to make Christmas cards unless you are going to actually hand them out. So I wanted to go ahead and make a Valentine's Day card, but we are using a retired set. The set that I've pulled out here is the Always in My Heart stamp set and the Floral Heart dies. And in this die set, you get 16 dies, you get all your floral images, and a couple borders and a banner. Now, it is retired, so I cannot link to it in the description, but I want to give this away. So I will do a drawing on January 15th from the comments in this video, and I will pick a winner by random drawing, and I will send this to you. So please be sure to comment. Let's go ahead and get started. I will also be using the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder. So what we need first, let's do our embossing of the background. So I've got a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and we are going to trim this down. So we want to start at that size. And I'm going to take my paper and I'm just going to spritz the back of it. And I did that off camera because I didn't want to get everything all wet. I'm just using regular water, and the back is what I spritzed. So I am just going to line this up in my embossing folder with the line on the folder so I can be sure that I get it straight. And then I am going to go ahead and run that through my die cut machine. And what comes out is our nice little brick and mortar image that is embossed on there. So now what we need to do is we are going to take our Smokey Slate ink pad, and I'm just going to take that, you know what, and I need a little scratch piece of paper. Let me grab that. Okay, so I've got a piece of paper to put under there, and I'm going to take my ink pad, and I'm going to use the side that is closest to the edge of the pad. I don't want to use this edge over here because I want it really close to my paper. So very gently, I am just going to drag my ink pad across the embossed image. And you want to gently drag it. Don't put pressure on it because you can always add more ink, but you cannot take it away. So just very gently drag that across your paper. And I just love how those images come to life. Those bricks, they look very lifelike. They look really pretty. So just gently drag that pad across there. I think we'll do one more up here. And then you don't have to worry about these edges here because we are going to trim this down. Those rough edges where it's really dark. So let's trim that down. I've got my trimmer here, and we're just going to trim this to 4 and 5 1/4. So I'm going to take a little bit off each side. All right, there we go. And as you can see, that took off the very dark edges that the ink pad was dragging across. So we've got our base here, and I used the floral die in here, and that is this larger image. So what I did was, actually I just used these 2 dies, and I cut 3 out of white, the thick white cardstock. I cut 3 out of that and stacked those. And then I've got a couple others ready here. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. On my sample, I used the gold foil, but I pulled out my gold and rose gold metallic paper. And I think I really like the gold. I think that's going to look really pretty. So I think we will be using that one. And I did put adhesive sheet behind this, and then I cut it out. So what I did was I got it on my die cutting machine and I ran it through twice like this with the die on top of the paper. I ran it through twice, forward and then backward, and then I flipped my whole sandwich over and I ran it back and forth again with the cutting portion of the die facing up, so it got a little bit more pressure and it just fell right out. Those pieces just came out really nice and easy. And I also used, let's see what we've got here. I used my cherry cobbler paper and I used this die and I cut it out 3 times. I did not put adhesive sheet behind this one. So I've got a whole bunch of these little floral images there. And you can tell which side goes up. You can, let's get a sample here for you. If you look at it, you can see the one that goes face up has more of a smoothed edge on top, and the one that is upside down has a little bit more rough edge on there. We are going to flip one of these over though. So let's go ahead and take this. We've got our metallic gold here, and I have adhesive sheet behind here. So let's just get that off, and it comes off beautifully. And we will attach that to our white stacked hearts. And I wanted this to have a lot of dimension because we are going to put in our embellishments, and I wanted it to basically be smooth enough to mail. I didn't want a lot of bulk in there. We've got a little tiny piece that didn't come out. Let's get that out of there. There we go. And we're just going to adjust that so it's on there nice and even. And then we can put some pressure on that. And if you want to, you can take your bone folder and you can just rub that across there, and that will burnish that adhesive underneath the metallic paper, and it'll really make it stick nicely. So let's go ahead and get started. So we've got our background here, and we're just going to place that on there. So we need some glue, and just put a whole bunch of glue behind there. And please don't forget to comment. I'm giving this set away. I will do the drawing on January 15th. Please be sure to like this video. It helps me get my YouTube channel promoted. All right, just get some glue on the back of there. And my little glue bottle here, I just filled it up with the Tombow glue. I got these, I think they were in a 3 or 4 pack at Michael's, and they are wonderful for little items like this. All right, so let's get this placed right about there. I think that looks good. We want to leave room down here for our sub-sentiment. Okay, so then I've got my heart that came out of one of my white images. I cut 3 of those and I stacked them, and the heart came out of there. I went ahead and I black heat embossed "You Are Always in My Heart," and I am just going to glue that and put that in there. Excuse me, I am coughing, and I don't mean to. So we'll just put that in there like that. And that just fits in there perfect. So now we need to add our flowers. And like I said, I did 3 of this die cut here in the cherry cobbler. And we are just going to place these on the flowers, just like that. And this one, you kind of have to turn it around so you can find where it goes, but it is pretty easy to find. Usually I can just look at it and kind of figure it out. And there we go. It goes just like that. But we do have something a little tricky here that I wanted to point out to you. We have, this one goes over here. They all go face down except for this flower here. So this flower does not fit when it's face up. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to flip it over, but so that we don't see those harsh lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to run it over that flower to make it a little more flat. That way you don't see those die cut edges. And we're just going to flatten it out a little bit, and then we will attach all these. All right, there we go. We have all of our flowers attached. And then what I did was I took some of our pearl hearts. So our pearl hearts are in the annual catalog, and I think they were overlooked. I know I didn't see them until just recently. And I just took my dark cherry cobbler Stampin' Blend, and I colored 3 of them. So let's go ahead and add those on there. We're just going to put 3 of those. And they color really easily. Just like that. And now we can add our layer. I've got my card base here, and then I've got my layer. My layer is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So let's go ahead and add that on there. And like I said, this is a retired stamp set, but I will be giving it away. So please comment and like this video. I just wanted to use something that I thought most people had in their stash already. And if they don't, they can comment for a chance to win it. And then I've got a top folding card. We'll go ahead and attach that to our card base. And then we just need to attach our sub-sentiment. And we are almost done. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the white Love You or the red with the white heat embossed Love You. I think we'll go with the red. And I got that sentiment from my January 2022 Hugs and Kisses Paper Pumpkin stamp set. I just selected the Love You out of there. So let's get some dimensionals and attach that. And then we will be done. Pretty simple card here. Let's see. I want to make sure I get that straight on there. I think that looks pretty good. And there you have it, a very quick and easy Valentine's Day card. It really didn't take any time at all. The only thing that took any time was the die cutting, which is par for the course. That's how it usually is. So we've got the card that we just completed here. This was our sample with the gold foil. This is our metallic gold foil. Then I've got one here that I did in silver foil. That was my first sample. And I thought that the background kind of got a little lost in there. So that's why I switched to the gold. This one I did in red and silver foil, and I do like that one. But I am really fond of the gold metallic paper there, I think. And then here's another one with the white heat embossing with the silver foil. Which one is your favorite? Please be sure to leave me a comment and like this video. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.